My name is Fernando, and I have a special gift. I speak to the dead. When I was a child, I heard a voice that warned me about an impending fire. That voice saved my life. Today, I use my gift to pass on messages for those left behind. Join me as I cross over the rainbow and connect with spirit. I've always been an animal lover and am proud to be daddy to 3 beautiful girls. I rescued Indiara and Chanel from the shelter over 10 years ago. They've been with me through some of the darkest periods of my life. Mama Cat was pregnant when she first arrived on our doorstep. She would come in and rest on our kitchen rug quite regularly in the evenings. On one particular day, Valentine's Day to be exact, she came in and took a break on my lap. While she rested, I was inspired to look up videos of cats giving birth on YouTube. After watching a few clips, I turned my phone off, put it down, and at that moment, Mama Cat went into labor. I stayed with her the entire night and felt a sense of unconditional love and responsibility for her as she looked up at me in her pain and fear. She was speaking to me, and I knew I would not leave her side. That was it. We were in love, and from that moment on, we were attached at the hip, quite literally. We found homes for her babies, and Mama Cat has been with us ever since. I believe that when my time comes, I will see all of my loved ones again, and especially my fur babies. Okay, I think I have 3 spirits so far stepping forward. I think I've got 2 males and 1 female. The one of the males and one of the females are definitely older than you, so they would be above you. So this would be like mother, grandmother, but they would be on top of you. The female wants to go first because she's like, like you let me through, like so she's coming first. So I've got a female stepping forward first. Okay, she's definitely acknowledging mom for me. So do you have a female in spirit who's connected to mom?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got this female stepping forward. She also keeps referencing your name, so she's acknowledging your name as being significant, or there's some sort of a link up with the name. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's referencing that as well. You know what's funny? I keep seeing Queen Victoria, and I'm not sure why. So I don't know if she considered herself to be royalty, or if she was very much the queen bee, but she just comes across very queen-like in that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, because she's almost like ruling the show is how she wants to be acknowledged. She does acknowledge butterflies as being significant, so butterflies are going to be a symbol from her. So you will encounter and see butterflies, and that's her way of letting you know she's around you and she's guiding you. She's wanting to blame herself for her own passing, and typically when a spirit does this, it means I either put myself in this situation or I caused this to come about or I took my own life. But there's a feeling of like I'm responsible or I did this to myself. Do you understand that? Okay. Okay, because she's making reference to that. Either she wasn't paying attention, or she wasn't acknowledging what was happening inside of her. Because I feel weird. I feel a little off inside my body, and I feel like something's not right. Something's not right. Something's not right. Did she? Did she not? Do you know if she didn't reach out for help, or if she waited too long for help? Because she makes me feel like she didn't ask for help, or there wasn't enough support for her.
She wanted to live on her own.
Okay.
And she shouldn't have been on her own.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I'm also smelling smoke. Do you know if she was a smoker?
she was.
Okay, because I'm smelling smoke. She's still smoking in the spirit world, so she's just acknowledging that as well. The spirit's trying to mess with my vocal cords, so my voice is starting to get crazy. Do you know if the, do you know if the female had a hoarse voice or her voice was kind of weird? Because I'm almost
My grandma's, yes.
okay, because she's making my voice become weird and it's starting to get hoarse, and it's almost like I feel like either I'm talking through a
She had
voice
a very
box,
unique
or
voice.
yeah, it's kind of a weird voice. Yeah, so she's trying to mess with my voice. Okay, so okay, got it. They're I'm pulling away from them for a second because I've got like I said, this other male that's coming forward that's wanting to be acknowledged. This male is acknowledging the month of July or the 4th of July. So either the 4th is significant or July is significant. So do you know?
July.
Okay, because they're referencing this as well. They're also talking about not. Okay, got it. They're doing this. Whenever I see this, it means I didn't get a chance to say goodbye or I didn't get a chance to speak before my passing. So do you know there wasn't the opportunity to communicate? Got it. They're also acknowledging this happened very suddenly or unexpectedly. Like this was not something that was expected or long term. This was very fast and sudden. Do you understand that? Okay. They're also pointing to the inside of the chest. So this either would have been like some sort of a heart issue or the lungs were somehow affected in this way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so they're acknowledging this as well. They're almost, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So they're almost apologizing when they passed because they're acknowledging that there was either another celebratory date around that time or there was some sort of event happening around this period. Do you understand that? He's also talking about the split or the divorce. Do you know if he and your mom were not together or there was a divorce there?
They weren't divorced. They weren't living in the same home, but they weren't
Okay,
divorced.
got it. Because he's acknowledging them being split or them not being together at the time. So he's
Mhm.
referencing that. He has a lot of apologies for her. And so he's wanting to come forward and really just apologize because there were some things there that he could have dealt with in a different way or he could have addressed. And it's almost as if he never really fully addressed it or dealt with it. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
He's also acknowledging like a period of time where he was either away from the family or he wasn't involved in certain family stuff. So do you know if he spent some time away or there was like a disconnect for a while?
He worked offshore.
Okay,
Um,
got it.
that's how he grew up,
Yeah, because
and
he keeps apologizing about not being around, not being around, not being around, and so he missed out on a lot of things. Is how he's acknowledging that. He also keeps talking about not seeing right, or he was having issues with his vision. Do you know if he had been complaining about his eyesight changing, or he was having trouble concentrating or focusing with his
yeah, he
eyes?
was having trouble focusing, and his vision was always pretty bad.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
um,
because he's referencing that as well. He is showing me a a beer can. Did you guys do a drink to him, or did you put a beer can next to his remains? Because he's referencing a beer can or showing me a beer can.
no,
Okay, so it's odd. I almost feel like there's a beer can that he's referencing or he's acknowledging. It's funny because I feel like I put change in this or I put coins in this. So I don't know if somebody used to keep coins in a can and they're shaking it because he's showing me like a coin can. It sounds crazy, but it's like a coin can or a can with coins in it. But he's referencing this.
well, he might be referring to the dogs because I have his dogs, and we actually keep a can with pennies in it to tell them no barking, and we
Got it.
shake it.
That's it. Yeah, because he's talking about the shaking, the can with the coins and shaking it because he's just shaking it. So he's just wanting to let you know he's around you when you're with the dogs and that he sees what you're doing with them. So he's making me aware of
Oh,
that. Do you know if he actually had a tattoo of a leopard or of a lion?
no, he didn't have any
Okay.
tattoos.
It's kind of weird because it has something to do with a cat of some sort. Because I'm seeing
Mhm.
like either a paw print or a lion or a cat or a claw mark. It's some sort of a cat drawing or cat sketch or a cat like art that he's referencing.
The only thing I can think of is that I recently my I call her my soul cat, my cat that died about 6 months before he did, and we
Mhm.
got her paw imprinted on a thing, and I just recently put it up on my desk. I've had it put,
Oh, got it. Got it.
and I remember thinking, I was excited that my dad would get to see her when he passed away,
That's it. That's it.
and
Because
he knew
he,
how much I
yeah.
loved that
Because
cat.
I trying to figure out what was so important with this. Because he kept talking about this cat and the paw or the paw mark or the paw like art. He calls it art. So I was like, what
Hmm.
is this? So he's referencing this piece of art that would have something to do with like an animal. Your cat is there. Your cat is there. So he's wanting to let you know that. He is referencing Snoopy. Do you know if there was an actual animal named Snoopy or there was a Snoopy name?
Yes,
Okay. So
that
he
was our very first dog that we had.
that's it, because he's
We got.
acknowledging Snoopy's there as well. So he wants you to know how many animals are there with him, and that he's like I said, it's a zoo there. He says he just can't know how he can keep up with it because he keeps acknowledging that or referencing that. I'm seeing a fishing line or a fishing pole. Do you know if he liked to fish? Because he's showing me fishing.
My dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because he's showing me fishing. You know if there's a picture of him fishing with a hat on or a cap on? Because he keeps showing me this picture.
Yes.
Okay, he's referencing the picture as well. He also talks about your TV messing up or something about your TV acting funny. Did you have an experience recently where your TV either wouldn't turn on right or something wrong with it not turning on properly?
Well, I'd say it was a couple months ago. My TV would just come on in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and we didn't figure out. We came downstairs and the TV was on.
Yep, that's Dad. So Dad is
Oh,
acknowledging that he was trying to let you know he was around. He also keeps talking about wearing the. Actually, do you know if he ever went to Florida or went to the NASCAR events? Because he's showing me
yes, he
this.
did.
Got it. Because he's referencing going to these or being a part of this. Do you have a picture of him at one of these events? Because he's referencing that as well.
Yes.
Okay.
We
He
do.
he your dad lived by his own rules. He did his own thing. Like he doesn't regret his life, even though he may have made some mistakes or he may have done some things that he wishes he could have made up for. He doesn't regret his life, and he wants you to know that. Um, I just saw cancer spelled out. Do you know there was a cancer link to that?
Um, like, yeah, he had cancer.
Whether you realize this or not, he sometimes dealt with depression or he sometimes felt depressed. And
Mhm.
he felt like he was ready to go and he didn't want to be here anymore. And he kind of let this slip into this mode because he just was done. And that's how he
Yeah.
makes me feel. And it wasn't about anyone else. It's not that he didn't love anybody else or he didn't care about everybody else's feelings. It's just that he was tired and he was done.
Mhm.
And that's how he felt. He does say that he tried to say hello in a dream. So he's acknowledging you having a dream of him. Do you know about the dream? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Because he's referencing
Had
the dream.
several dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging that that's him. He's been trying to show up and just to say hello and acknowledge that he's been with you.
Mhm. He was really the pillar of our family. He was the one that carried the burdens for everyone else, and he would do everything in his power. So if something was hard on somebody, he would try to. He was the kind of person that would see a person at the car shop, with the large bill that couldn't pay it,
Yeah.
and he would pay it. And he would do things for people that no one ever knew. There's things he did for people they came forward later and told us. But he always was trying to ease other people's burdens, and he was my best friend, really.
Yeah.
And he loved his animals. He loved his family. He worked his whole life. He was a hard worker, and he always wanted to make the people he loved. He wanted to make their lives good.
Yeah.
And he put himself last. They intubated him, put him on a ventilator, and then 2 weeks before he died, he actually pulled the tube out on his own.
Wow.
And so we had 2 weeks with him before he died, and we got a lot of good time in those 2 weeks. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's a lot.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Well, you take care of yourself.
Hey, you too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. She's like, I wouldn't have done this to myself. I wouldn't have done it to myself. So she's acknowledging that and making reference to that. Like, I wouldn't have done this to myself. So she's almost like she's wanting to make sure that the people around her either are made responsible or that they take responsibility